Hey, welcome back to Gundamentals. You are staring at the bottom of my shower stall right now, where we're going to be doing some AR magazine upgrade and maintenance. On the left here we have a Magpul PMag. These are generally regarded as the best standard issue mags that you can find. Good to know that they're actually starting to return to the shelves at a reasonable price now. But if you ended up buying a bunch of GI surplus magazines, like this one, these are good too. However, they will oftentimes come with a follower that tilts. This little plastic piece here is called the follower because it follows the rounds up as it moves up the magazine here. And on a lot of these surplus ones, what will happen sometimes, and I think I've maybe had this happen a couple times with my AR. I've had a couple of feeding issues every now and again, and I think this might be related to this. But the follower here will tilt like that, which makes it harder to grab the other round for the bolt carrier when it comes across. So there are fixes for that. Magpul makes an enhanced follower here. I ended up buying a pile of these GI surplus mags a few years back before I really knew much about what I was getting into, and they all ended up, once I learned more, I found that they all had the follower that tilts like that. So Magpul actually makes an enhanced follower here. I bought a few packages of these. I think they come in a package of 3 for $6. And in this video today, one of the things we'll be doing is we're going to replace this tilt follower with this Magpul non-tilt follower. So what you do is you take some sort of tool of some sort. I just use a leather punch off my multi-tool here. And on the bottom of your AR mag, you'll see a little hole there. Shove it in there. Lift it up slightly, this little metal tab. Lift it up ever so slightly. And then you will be able to push it out here. You'll see this little indentation here in this steel thing or metal thing. I don't know if it's aluminum or steel, but it catches on the edge of that, and that's what stops it from sliding out in the field. But once you have this out, make sure you put your thumb over it. Notice how I put my thumb over it here. Otherwise, the spring might come shooting out here. And then what you do is pull the spring out. The follower will come with it. And sometimes it takes a little bit of finagling here on the bottom to get it out. And then you can see how it's wrapped around the old follower here. So you just yank it out right there. And then I shove these off to the side. I keep them in a box. Never know if you might need them someday. Who knows, I might come across a pile of magazines that don't have followers or something, so I keep them in a box. Then once I have this torn apart, what I like to do is spray it on down. Now I actually already upgraded all my magazines. I just put the old follower back in for the purposes of this video here. I like this Birchwood KC gun scrubber myself because it's safe on plastic parts. There are other general cleaners that are not so safe on the plastic parts. So I like to do this in a sink or a tub, or if you have a garage with a shop sink or something, that's good to do. But a lot of times these AR mags, over the years, and I don't know how old mine were when I got them, they're just surplus. They may have had thousands of rounds put through them. Lots of carbon and dirt will build up in there, so I just like to give them a quick spray down. When I upgraded my magazines, I upgraded them all at once, so I just put the pile of springs in there and went over all of them real quick all at once there. And it's also good to do that to the inside of the mag here. Let all that run out. I like to let that sit for a couple minutes to evaporate and get it all to flow out. So we'll check. I'll let that sit for a couple minutes and then I'll come back. So I've been letting this sit for about 10 minutes or so. looks pretty dry. You can also hear the fan going in the background. It's good to use ventilation of some sort when working with these spray chemicals. So I'll turn the fan off now. So this is the new follower. This is the old follower. See how they sit in here. And I'm really not sure what... it must be the extension on the back here, on the Magpul one, that stops it from tilting. Notice how much longer this one is than this one. I mean, the front is pretty close to the same. These little stems are different size too. And then in the Magpul one here, you can see this little notch cut out right here where the spring sits in. So what we'll do now is we will take the spring here. Sometimes it's good to turn it in. So it fits in there, and then make sure this make sure the edge of the spring goes in a little notch right there. Get it real up and close there. See how the spring is going in that little notch there. So now it's set like that, and here's the top view of them side by side. Now, one thing that's important to note is this is a different follower than what's used in the PMag. So I do not think they would be interchangeable here. I'll show you the one in the PMag. Notice it's got some notches and whatnot in different locations here, namely right in here. So I don't think these would interchange with each other. And notice the difference with how much farther it extends to the front here, and the general shape as it starts to taper in right there, and it doesn't there. So these would not be interchangeable with each other. So you take your magazine here. I believe it's going to go like this, and it slides right on in. And then you have to finagle the spring a little bit to fit around the little notches on the side there. You get it up and in. And keep your thumb over the spring there. Then you take your original bottom plate here and slide it on in. Now when you're taking this back plate off at the beginning of the process, you don't need to put much force on it because you don't want to work hard in the metal to have a permanent bend there. You just got to lift it up ever so slightly and give it a little shove too at the same time. But you don't need the tool when you're putting it back on. So now it's on, and it slides really nice in and out, and it does not tilt either. I'm pushing down on the front where I was pushing down on it before. It's not tilting. Same thing with the back here, not tilting. The whole thing is moving in. So for what amounts to a $2 upgrade to save yourself some possible feeding issues, I completely recommend. Again, that's if you ended up buying a bunch of GI mags. If you're looking to buy mags, I do recommend the PMag over the GI mag, because it's not going to dent when it hits the ground. The downside of the PMag, though, is that it's a little bigger, so it might not fit in the same pouches or bandoliers as a GI mag would. But they're both good magazines, and I would certainly take either one in to do battle against the zombies. So there you have it, your AR magazine upgrade and maintenance. See you next time on Gundamentals.